Jon Jones stopped Stipe Miocic and sent him into retirement to retain his heavyweight title at UFC 309. Jones dominated the opening round at Madison Square Garden against the former champion in a fight rescheduled from 12 months ago. Miocic continued to struggle in the second session before a brutal liver kick dropped him the third as Jones finished his job in style. The two-weight world champion then revealed he has no plans to retire and offered hope he would defend his belt against interim champion Tom Aspinall next year, having previously ruled out such a move. Aspinall was watching from cage side as Jones took down former champion Miocic within 2 minutes of the first bell and worked his way into a position to rain down blows. Miocic survived and managed to see out the session, albeit it under more pressure. Jones was prepared to be patient in the second session, picking off Miocic with his jab as he continued to dominate. The challenger enjoyed a brief flurry towards the bell but was struggling to sustain an attack. Jones continued to land his jab at the start of the third round but didn't look completely comfortable in the face of Miocic's response. But a right hand appeared to hurt the former champion, who was beginning to give off distress signals. And Jones finished the job when he landed a spinning kick to the body which left Miocic crumpled on the canvas. Jones appeared surprised at the impact before finishing the job on the ground. Miocic later announced his retirement from the sport. "I'm done," Miocic said. "I'm hanging 'em up." But Jones said, "As far as my future in the octagon, I decided that maybe I will not retire. I have some conversations to have with Dana, White, and Hunter Campbell. We have some negotiating to do. If everything goes right, maybe we'll give you guys what you want to see." In the co-main event, Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler met for a second time. 3 years after the Brazilian became world champion in their first meeting, Chandler had given up waiting for Conor McGregor to be ready to fight, having pulled out of their summer showdown. And after an opening round played out on the ground and edged by Oliveira, the second session burst into life thanks to the former champion's crisp and precise striking. Chandler grew more desperate as a result and began swinging and was then taken down by the Brazilian, who saw out the round in control. Chandler was soon back, pedaling again in the third round as Oliveira swarmed all over the former Bellator champion. And, as was becoming a habit, he took him down halfway through the session, and set about attempting to lock in a rear naked choke. But Chandler, by now well behind and flailing, managed to resist. Chandler cracked Oliveira with his left hand in the opening seconds of the penultimate round but was soon on the back foot once more. Again the Brazilian took the fight to the canvas, but again the fight-finishing submission eluded him. Chandler suddenly turned the tide in the final round when he wobbled Oliveira with a right hand. He tried to pile on the pressure but missed badly with his left, and the pair tumbled to then canvas. Chandler turned on the ground and pound, but Oliveira held firm. The fight returned to the feet for a short period before Oliveira took Chandler down again and stifled him until Chandler punctuated the fight with successive back slams to bring the crowd to its feet. Ultimately, though, each of the judges gave the Brazilian the nod by scores of 49-46, 49-46, and 49-45. Earlier on the main card, the New York crowd turned on rising light heavyweight star Bo Nickel as he preserved his unbeaten record with a points win over Paul Craig. Nickel had won his opening 6 fights in the UFC and was cheered to the cage, but struggled to stamp his authority on the Scotsman. He did find an opening for his left hand as the second round wore on, but Paul grew frustrated at what he perceived was a lack of willingness from Nickel to engage. The crowd shared those feelings, chanting "overrated" at the American and drowned him out with boos as he spoke following the judge's decision. Full UFC 309 results main Card Jon Jones BT Stipe Miocic via TKO Charles Oliveira BT Michael Chandler via UD Bo Nickel BT Paul Craig via UD Vivian Araujo BT Karine Silva via UD Mauricio Ruffy BT James Lontop via UD Prelims Marcus McGee BT Jonathan Martinez via UD Chris Weidman vs Eric Anders, CNCLLED Jim Miller BT Damon Jackson via submission Guillotine David Onama BT Roberto Romero via UD Marcin Tibura BT Janata Diniz via TKO Early Prelims Ramiz Brahimaj BT Mickey Gall via KO Oban Elliott BT Basil Hafez via KO Eduarda Mora BT Veronica Hardy via UD